we got another segment here. This is a new one as well. You know, we've been pumping a lot of these out. We're just trying some new stuff here with you. So this one's Manager Madness, and it's a new segment where we spotlight the icons who didn't throw punches but still won matches. This episode, none other than the Weasel himself, Bobby the Brain Heenan. So, you know, we're going to talk about his influence a little bit. He managed some of the biggest names in history: Andre the Giant, Ric Flair, you know, his WWF run, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, and a whole bunch of other guys. He was definitely like one of the most trusted guys that they could have talk, and they always put him with like anybody that they. So if you're working with Andre, he has to like you, right? And they have to trust you to be with him. But you know, he's super quick witted. He dressed well. He was unafraid to make himself look like a dumbass or a coward. He would do anything to get heat or to further the show. You know, like he created the template for the modern fucking manager, basically. You know, he's the best guy to ever do it. You know, he actually started as a wrestler. A lot of people don't know that. And then he transitioned into a manager. That is correct, right, Dave? I'm not just spelling that incorrectly. But,
right. He had a pretty severe neck injury that ended up taking him out of in ring and becoming a manager full time. But it's not like he was burning the world down in the ring.
He was.
But
I heard he was all right.
He was a solid wrestler though.
But yeah, his bumps and reactions were legendary. Whether running from the Ultimate Warrior or screaming on commentary, he always had to do the moment beyond managing. His commentary elevated everyone. Does Heenan have a bigger legacy as a manager or as a broadcaster? Definitely as a fucking manager, but
oh yeah,
he could get anybody heat. Nobody could do it the way he does today. The only closest person ever in history is Paul Heyman, and he is still doing it today. But yeah, he's a 5 out of 5 in pretty much fucking everything.
Oh yeah,
but you know my main when I saw him, it was him being the commentator for WCW back in the day. You remember him when he was doing that?
Right on Nitro.
Yeah, and that was my introduction to him. And, you know, I didn't know who this guy was. I was a fucking young kid, so I wasn't aware of his stuff then. You know, obviously I was when I got older and the internet existed and you can look all this shit up. But, man, he was awesome. He had a lot of funny sayings. And even early on in the 80s WWF, late 80s, early 90s, he was like super corny and everybody loved chanting Weasel at him and stuff like that. But he was a super fucking passionate guy. You know, he could start crying if he started talking about something he really believed in a lot. Everybody really fucking liked him a lot. You know, him and Gorilla is like probably like, you know, that's up with like him and JR and King as or JR and the King is like the two some of the best pairings, right?
Oh yeah, watching him do his tribute to Gorilla after Gorilla passed when Heenan was on Nitro. Yeah, it was tough.
But yeah, and it's just he was an awesome commentator, awesome
Mount
guy.
Rushmore manager. It's literally like him, Heyman, Cornette, and I'm not sure who we would put as the fourth person because there's a lot of people to shove in there.
Yeah, but, there definitely is.
Jimmy Hart probably.
Yeah, that literally popped in my head the same time you just said it. But I don't know. I loved him on commentary, man. He was the fucking man. He's one of the best commentators ever. That's a completely different fucking conversation than we're talking about now. But he as a manager was awesome. He was able to generate a lot of heat, and I don't know. He's definitely miss seeing him around. And if you haven't seen. So was it the Hall of Fame that they did that with Gorilla, or just with his passing, that speech?
I can't recall. Oh no. That was just him on an episode of Nitro.
Oh well, I feel like he did some Hall of Fame thing or something. His Hall of Fame induction. He talks about Gorilla and he gets choked up then too. Check out his Hall of Fame speech if you haven't. But you know, I'm not going to cite anything fucking because I just can't. You know, there's nothing that I can just bring up out of nowhere that's going to be able to like just look them up, put them up, just put Bobby Heenan in on YouTube and just go down the rabbit hole because there's just unlimited amounts of shit you can watch. Right, Dave?
Yes, sir.
Well,
shit.
Well, if you would give him a 5 out of 5, right? Obviously.
Oh, 100%. I mean, at this point, I would have to say that Heyman has probably eclipsed or passed him. Man, I have a soft spot for Brain just because, being born in 82 and being able to, like I got to see him with Andre, during the heel run against Hogan. I got to actually watch that as a kid.
Is he the
I got
third
to
man?
see I got to see that, of course. Obviously, you did too. Him in real time managing Ric Flair in the WWF. I mean, it was great. Seeing him on Raw, just the different shit when we were kids.
Yeah, he was
Good
definitely
times.
the man, and we enjoy talking about him. And hopefully you check him out a little bit if you're younger and haven't. And if you're older, then you know what we're talking about. And we're going to wrap that one up there.